Three, two, one. All right. Hey, this is Sean from RPhAlly. Today I have Jess from Tamvoes Health. So thank you, Jess. Thank you for joining me. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course. No, this has been fun getting to know Jess and what she's built already, and then now partnering with RPhAlly and RPhAlly Tamvoes are partnering to launch a product today for pharmacists. So very exciting stuff. I'm excited because when I first started creating a new business, I didn't know how to build a website, right? So, and then you have a EHR that you need and all this stuff. So it's like I'm really excited about just the ease that this is going to make for any pharmacists wanting to get into this practice, where they want to build their own business, have an EHR, have a website. We're making it really easy for them. But before we get to that, I want Jess to tell her story and kind of the formation of Tamvoes and how it came to be. Mm-hmm. Powerful story, so hang on with this one.
Yeah. So it's interesting, Sean, you say that about pharmacists and not knowing how to build a website and the tech side of things, because honestly, I have a healthcare background. I'm a registered nurse, and I didn't even know how tech would, help my life until I experienced a lot of, healthcare issues with family members and seeing what I saw within the healthcare system as working as a nurse. So really the story behind Tamvoes is kind of where it all came from. And it always goes back to the name. I feel like I tell this story over and over again, which I do, but it really empowers the vision, the whole reason why it became to be. And that's actually the name of Tamvoes is why I built it. So when you look at Tamvoes, it's Tina Tamming and Yvonne DeVoost, and they were my grandma and my mom. And it's how we connected the names, is how the company was actually built. It's really about connecting people and bringing information together and making that patient experience and caregiver experience better. So unfortunately, those two lovely ladies have since passed away in 2020. And I started building this based on my experience of being a caregiver. And it was very, very difficult. I got my mom diagnosed with multiple myeloma in 2016 in an emergency room, very randomly, with stage 4 multiple myeloma. And it started a 3-year-long battle. She moved in with me, and I became her primary caregiver, along with my kids and my siblings, but mostly a lot was put onto me, also because I had the healthcare background. But what I really saw with being with mom during these times was in and out of hospital, whether it be, we're up here in Canada and is in and out of like different hospital systems. And if you've been to different hospitals, you understand they're all using different record systems. None of them are communicating to each other. We really noted that when we had to repeat our story over and over again. We would carry file folders to different appointments, and the physician in one hospital was not communicating with the physician in the other. And even into mom's last, days of her life, where she was at home with me in a palliative care situation, we were getting home care in consistently because she was paralyzed. And what we noticed was even the PSWs were coming in and asking her health history again. And to me, a depressed person in a very fragile state should not have to repeat their story again, because it just is mentally taxing on the family members as well as the individual themselves. So it really drove me to figure something out, because there needed to be a technology where things were communicating better. When you look at the patient as a whole patient, as opposed to just in the different silos that they are in. And what we've built today are two seamless platforms where patient and professional can communicate very securely and seamlessly. And wherever you go, you have that health record going with you. And where professionals, and where we're focused on today, is pharmacists, they have that leading advantage to be able to share that information with their patients, and showing that to their patients, giving patient education, empowerment, satisfaction is really going to drive, the pharmacists and the professionals to take their business to the next level.
Well, I know we've talked about this, and I'm sorry for that story, and I've said this before. You took a couple bad life events, and you made a positive out of those, just to, I mean, think of all the people that you can help now going forward, which is truly amazing. And I think you touched on it with just the patient experience, right? As pharmacists, we're right there with the patients all the time. And we see that disconnectivity within the healthcare system, and we're a part of it too. I mean, the pharmacies are not connected to the EHRs and those types of things. So I think making it easy for the patient is top notch. I mean, that was awesome how you kind of spun that around, and now it's more of like a patient driven EHR that now we can help plug in the right providers, the right healthcare team, everyone on that team, including the pharmacist, right? So I love that. Can you tell us about just kind of like the Tamvoes EHR capabilities for a minute, just so the pharmacists know what they'll get when they dive into this?
Right. So we have a very secure vault or data trust, we call it, where all these PDFs can be held securely and very seamlessly shared with patients or other vendors. So it's all about the security. All of the records can be kept in there. There is the way of manually entering it, or we are integrating with existing electronic health record systems where those can automatically flow in through different allowances. And that's really exciting for us, because manual entry, as we know, we don't want to duplicate things. And it's kind of a next step that we want to be cutting edge. So we built an umbrella integration system, and it's really working well for us. And the other thing is the health record. So, how you start out with a patient, you have a baseline of a health record. Well, now you can build into it and continually changing it by getting inputs from the patient or other members of their team. And then that health record is constantly being adjusted and built. And to think about the data inside of that, I'm a real research buff. Like when my mom was struggling with multiple myeloma, the doctors would look at me and I'd say the cancer's back before they even saw it back, because I would follow the blood work. I would see all these trends. And I think data and the study of disease is so important, to see the effects of pharmaceutical drugs and to see how they react with different things. And you got to look at the whole body for that. You can't just look at, a symptom. You got to look at, what diet is it interacting with? And our system has a capability to house all that important information.
You brought up a good point there, because as a pharmacist, a lot of drugs depend on certain lab values. And to get a lab value from a provider's office is almost impossible, right? And half the times they'll still come over on a fax, right? Which doesn't make sense. So now that patient's already going to have that lab value when you're doing the medication review. So that's like, you already have that. I love that. That's perfect. And now that travels and that follows the patient wherever they go. So I love that. I love that connection point there. So as a pharmacist, I'm excited about this, because it's like we're going to need this data repository to manage our patient load in our cases. How would I get that information from my patient?
Right. So I always built the system with the patient in mind. And so we have two different platforms: a professional platform, which works as a client management system, an EHR data tool that you register all your patients with. So they all have different patient names and TAM IDs, we call them. So what happens then is the patient is prompted to create a account. So they have their own login, which has all the features in there, and it houses all the electronic health records, the journal entries, the health profile, the team. So they have their own account, which is very secure, and only they have that login. And then they can create team members where they can share that information as well. The one thing that is so empowering for a patient to do is have easy access to information and share it with their family, friends, you name it. Because how many times are you getting on that phone and telling the same story over and over again? Well, now family and friends are calling and actually, I read up on you, what's going on and all that. And let's have a chat about, the sports on TV or something like that, as opposed to the constant nagging of illness.
Amazing. It sounds easy. It sounds simple, right? So that's what we're talking about. And it's secure, it's direct uploading. We're not emailing back and forth. So I love that. So as a pharmacist, so now I have the EHR, and I have a way to capture that information from the patients if they're not already connected. Tell me a little bit about now I got to market this because I don't have a lot of patients and I'm just starting out. Like, do I need to build a website?
Yeah, so we actually will work with the pharmacist to build that. We want to make it as easy as possible. And during the onboarding process, we'll provide them with their own landing page, and your patients and yourself can, log in and out through there. So it's basically, your brand powered by Tamvoes. So it's customized to what you want, and we can go very basic with that, or we can take it to the next level, and you can drive the boat on that as pharmacists.
I love it because I don't know how to code.
Me neither.
Well, or even build a website, right? It's like even building a website. Now I can say I've probably done it because I've done it since we've launched RPhAlly. I've had to do things, but I wasn't always the one doing that either. It's like I got teammates that can really do that. So I love that piece of it because that's really like one thing that a lot of people will get scared of is like getting all this together, because now you have the EHR and you have the landing page to help funnel your patients to, or even promote your patients, or promote your business on social media, things like that. So I love it. I love it, Jess. Anything else that you want to add to this conversation that I might have missed?
I don't know. I think in our partnership with RPH and what you guys are doing is incredible. And, there's the consulting piece, there's all the tools that you can provide somebody with to being successful. And we all work as a team. So even, when you have a website, if you want customizations, we can work on that. Some, basic websites will charge lots of money just to, manage your website for you. But I think we have a huge opportunity to customize websites and create that very secure back end for you that you can manage all your patients' health information. But I just want to reiterate, in the end, that patient is going to love what you're providing them. We see it every day, and that empowerment and patient education will be key to successful.
100%. Couldn't agree more, Jess. That's awesome. So to everybody else out there, we're launching today. Hop into RPhAlly. If you're not a member, just go to rphally.com, join, follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook. We'll have updates now on where to find these links, where to get this product and get going. So Jess, I want to thank you for joining. Thank you for the partnership. This has been fun, and it's going to get a lot more fun, I think. So cheers.
Thanks a lot, Sean. Bye.
Take care.